Today we dive into 3 raw betrayals that ripped families apart and left lasting scars. First, a secret child that shattered a marriage built on trust. Second, an invisible tormentor hiding behind anonymous online accounts, turning love into a weapon. Finally, a seemingly harmless hobby that became a battlefield of ridicule and silence. Each story is told with empathy, focusing on the pain of discovery and the resilient steps toward healing. Stay with me as we explore the darkness and the light that follows. I walked into the kitchen that night, the soft cries of my newborn echoing against the tiles, and felt an invisible weight settle on my shoulders. My wife stood there, eyes trembling, and confessed that the baby's skin tone didn't match ours because she had spent a night with another man. The room seemed to close in, the silence louder than any argument. Every heartbeat reverberated with a cold stone of betrayal, and I realized the life I thought I knew was built on a lie I could no longer ignore. We had built a life together for 8 years, sharing hopes, buying a house, and raising 2 boys who adored their dad. Our marriage felt solid, even after I'd taken paternity tests to confirm I was their father. The news of a one-night stand felt like a dagger because it wasn't just infidelity, it introduced a new race, a new family member, and a deep sense of embarrassment that my community amplified. The foundation we'd painstakingly built began to crumble, leaving me to question every memory and every promise we ever made. Months before the birth, my wife grew distant, avoiding intimacy and offering vague excuses about work deadlines that never seemed to exist. She started shielding her phone, and a new contact labeled doctor appeared, someone she never mentioned. Friends whispered about her late-night outings, but I dismissed them as stress. Then bruises appeared on her arms, which she claimed were from moving boxes. Each warning was a thin thread I chose to ignore, clinging to the belief that love could fix anything, until the truth finally ripped it all apart. After the confession, I filed for divorce while still living under the same roof for the sake of our boys. Counseling helped us navigate co-parenting, and I began therapy to process my grief and anger. The children now understand that love can change, and I focus on being present for them every day. Though the pain lingers like a shadow, I've learned to rebuild my identity outside the marriage, finding strength in small victories, supportive friends, and the quiet moments of self-acceptance. From a hidden child to an invisible tormentor, the next betrayal shows how deceit can seep through screens and destroy self-esteem. It's a story of digital cruelty, where someone you love uses anonymity to weaponize words, leaving you questioning reality and safety. Stay tuned as we uncover how the virtual world can become the most personal battlefield. One night I logged into Reddit to check my boyfriend's profile, and the messages I found made my stomach twist into knots. He'd created multiple anonymous accounts, flooding my posts with cruel insults, threats, and personal details like my address and birthday. Each hateful comment landed like a punch, and the realization that the person I trusted was the source shattered my sense of safety and love. The digital veil lifted, exposing a darkness hidden behind a smile I thought I knew. We'd been together for 19 months, sharing an apartment, planning trips, and introducing each other to families. He seemed supportive, always cheering me on in my makeup community, and I believed his love was genuine. Our bond felt like a safe haven after years of online harassment, making his betrayal feel like a double-edged sword, both a personal attack and a public humiliation. The contrast between his affectionate gestures and his secret cruelty left me reeling, wondering how well we ever really knew each other. Early warning signs appeared when he grew defensive about my online presence, insisting I delete my accounts. He'd joke about trolling friends, yet never showed me his own activity. I noticed his sudden interest in my phone's lock screen and his habit of scrolling through my comment history before I could. Each excuse felt like a veil, but I never imagined he was the author of the venomous messages. Those small, uncomfortable moments piled up, creating a silent alarm I was too afraid to answer. I confronted him with screenshots. He tried to minimize his actions, claiming it was a joke. I left the apartment, stayed with a friend, and reported the harassment to Reddit. With legal advice, I filed a restraining order and deleted every account linked to him. Therapy helped me rebuild confidence, and I now share my story to warn others that abuse can hide behind love. Each day I reclaim my voice, learning that safety begins with trusting my own instincts. The final tale reveals how an innocent hobby became a battlefield, exposing the cruelty of friends and the power of empathy. It's a reminder that even seemingly small actions can betray someone's joy, and that standing up for love often means challenging the people around us. Let's move into a story where silence turned into betrayal, and where speaking up sparked healing. The moment my friends laughed at my girlfriend's Pokemon plushies, I realized I had been complicit in their cruelty. Their jokes cut deeper than I'd imagined, and I felt my own shame rise as they whispered behind her back. The silence in my apartment that night was deafening, and I finally understood how my silence enabled their betrayal of her joy. It wasn't just a joke, it was a dismissal of a part of her identity that she treasured. We'd been dating for 2 years, sharing a tiny apartment filled with her colorful collection of Pokemon figures. She loved the games, and I pretended to be indifferent, hoping my friends would accept us. I never imagined my failure to defend her would become a betrayal of her happiness, turning a simple hobby into a source of embarrassment. The love we built felt fragile, teetering on whether I could truly honor the things that made her smile. Friends started mocking her collection, calling it childish, and I laughed along, fearing I'd be the odd one out. She'd hide her plushies in the bedroom, avoiding my living room, and I ignored her silent pleas. When she finally asked me to move them, I dismissed her concerns, believing it was just a phase. Each ignored comment built a wall between us, and the growing distance became a silent accusation that I was choosing my friends over her feelings. After the confrontation, I apologized, downloaded the game, and started learning the basics to support her passion. I set boundaries with my friends, telling them their jokes were unacceptable. Today we play together, and her smile is back, brighter than before. I've learned that standing up for a partner's interests is essential, and I no longer let others dictate my love. The journey taught me that true partnership means defending each other, even when it's uncomfortable. Betrayal cuts deep, but every story shows that healing is possible when we choose truth, courage, and self-respect. Whether it's a secret child, an online tormentor, or a dismissed hobby, the path forward begins with acknowledging the pain and taking decisive steps toward recovery. What would you have done in their shoes? Drop your thoughts below, share your own experiences, and remember that you are never alone in the journey toward healing.